What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. We are taking a look today at the Arizona Coyotes, who could be in for an interesting NHL trade deadline. As we heard last week from Jimmy Murphy, Clayton Keller's name is out there. More than you'd expect. The Coyotes could hold a fire sale at the deadline. We'll be taking a look at that in this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, more trade deadline rumors like this, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. And let's take a look at the Arizona Coyotes. Let's take a look at the Arizona Coyotes, guys. Now, the Coyotes could be in for an interesting trade deadline. So the Arizona Coyotes, there's a couple of things to keep an eye on. So, the Arizona Coyotes are in a very different spot than maybe we would have thought. Now, the Arizona Coyotes right now, where they sit in the Honda West Division, eventually in the Central Division, when Seattle comes in, the Coyotes are a little bit on the fringe side of things in terms of where their franchise stands, and we may be finding out over the next couple months what the direction of this team is moving forward. So you look at them in the standings, they're currently 4 points back of a playoff spot, which isn't bad, but now that we've seen the Minnesota Wild, the Avalanche pick things up, the St. Louis Blues, the LA Kings, and the Arizona Coyotes kind of seem to be on the outside looking in, which is not good news. So, looking at cap friendly, we've been hearing some rumors from Jimmy Murphy that the Coyotes could become hardcore sellers at this year's deadline. Now, the reason for that may be, why would they do that? Why would they all of a sudden start fire selling and all this? Well, let's get into that. So, right now, the projected cap space going into the summer is going to be $32 million of cap space. But they're going to have some guys they have to re-sign. So let's take a look. They are going to have Antti Raanta come off the books. Okay, let's go through the UFAs for the Coyotes. Let's go with that first. So, Antti Raanta in between the pipes as well. Oh, no. So, Antti Raanta, Ilya Lyubushkin, Jordan Oesterle, Jason Demers, Nicholas Hjalmarsson, and Alex Goligoski for defense. For forwards, you've got Derek Brassard, Connor Garland, John Hayden, Drake Caggiula, and Michael Chaput. Now, the guys that I should be taking a look at that will probably get pay raises. Let's take a look. We've got Jordan Oesterle and Ilya Lyubushkin. They could see a bit of a pay raise, nothing crazy. Adin Hill will likely see starting salary between $4 to $5 million per season for a starting goaltender. We could see him get that this summer. Let's take a look. Connor Garland probably going to see a pay raise from his $7.75 AAV. Probably going to see somewhere between $5 to $6 million for Connor Garland and what he's provided. So, then it brings up the question, who are the Coyotes going to sell? If they're going to do a fire sale this year, who could they start with? Now, the problem is salary is going to be an issue. So, let's just say, right, Connor Garland and Adin Hill. Let's say the two of them combined, in a perfect world, let's say up to $11 million for the two of them. So now you have around a little less than $20 million for the Coyotes next season, right? So let's say $18 million in cap space. But you still have to re-sign a backup goaltender if you decide to let Raanta walk. Well, maybe not, because if you keep Adin Hill and Darcy Kemper, you can do that. But you're going to need some defensemen, because Hjalmarsson and Goligoski and Demers are all either going to leave or they're just not going to, or they're going to retire or whatever happens. So you got to re-sign. So then it becomes, who do they sell? You're not getting rid of Jacob Chikrin and his $4.6 million deal. That is a sweetheart contract. One of the best contracts in the league. You're not getting rid of that. But Oliver Ekman-Larsson and his $8.25 per year for the next 8 years or whatever, however long cap friendly goes till 2027, they may look to move that. Oliver Ekman-Larsson And Clayton Keller, who's making money till forever. So around over $7 million per season. Nick Schmaltz making almost $6 million per season for the next 6 years. Christian Dvorak, 4.45. Again, kind of like Jacob Chikrin, you probably want to keep that contract. So let's just say the 3 names that they look at, maybe even 4. You look at Clayton Keller, Phil Kessel, Nick Schmaltz, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson as guys you trade. What is the value for each of those guys? Oliver Ekman-Larsson, his value is going to be hard to determine because he's a good defenseman, a good top pairing defenseman, but we've really seen him decline over the past 2 years now. So his value continues to go down, and at $8 million per season for the next while, that's going to be hard to move. So is it 2 first-round picks and an A-plus prospect if you're the Coyotes? But what team's going to be willing to pay that? Right? Clayton Keller, you got to think 2 first-round picks and two prospects, an A prospect and a B prospect. You know, that's probably going to be the price tag for Keller. Phil Kessel, maybe a first, right? Maybe a first and maybe a B-level prospect at most. And then Christian Dvorak, maybe a first. So you're looking at, let's just say hypothetically, they trade all those guys straight up for assets, just draft picks. So let's say, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 2 first-round picks. Clayton Keller, 2 first-round picks. Phil Kessel, a first-round pick. And Nick Schmaltz, a first-round pick. So that's 6 first-round picks, hypothetically. And then, let's just say out of those guys, they get 3 A-level prospects and a B-level prospect. I don't know. But that seems like a large asking price for guys that, quite honestly, aren't playing that well. And they're coming in at a high cap hit. I think that's the biggest concern here for the Arizona Coyotes. If they want to move these guys, they're going to have to retain money. And that's something that could be an issue. And I think Clayton Keller is obviously the best player out of all those guys. He's 22 years old, can play left wing. He can play right wing. He's a former 7th overall pick back in 2016. And the issue is the contract. Same thing for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Same thing for Nick Schmaltz. Nick Schmaltz has had injury issues, which has made things even more concerning for a guy like Schmaltz. But these are the guys that if the Coyotes decide that they want to move, you have to consider you're going to have to retain some salary. And if the Coyotes are going to sell them to a team that's going to contend this year, you're going to have to retain even more because they're not going to have the cap space themselves to bring those guys in. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Arizona Coyotes, and what do you think of these rumors about them potentially holding a fire sale at this year's deadline? Let me know down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, you guys know what to do. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and even bigger subscribe down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.